And Shedeur told them, nah, I don't want to sit behind Lamar Jackson. I want to be in a place where there's more of an opportunity to play. This kid's brain dead. This kid has been badly mentored by his father. This kid's ego is out of control. This kid.
And there are some things that if you could go back and change, obviously hindsight's 2020. But when you're looking at the better situation is definitely Baltimore, where you could potentially learn from a great and see how he manages so many different things outside of football rather than just performing at an elite level.
Cam Newton can be absolutely right that Baltimore is the better situation. Yet none of us can look at Shedeur Sanders and find extreme fault with his position.
The news of Shedeur Sanders rejecting the Baltimore Ravens has sent shockwaves through the NFL, and now everyone seems to have an opinion. Some are saying he made a blunder by signing with Cleveland instead of taking the Ravens offer. After all, Lamar Jackson, one of the league's top quarterbacks, already leads Baltimore, who would have helped Shedeur Sanders. But then there are voices like Stephen A. Smith, who believes Shedeur made the decision for his future. He saw his transfer to Browns as a move to get a head start as a starter because, let's face it, being in Lamar's shadow would have stalled his growth in the league. So, what's the real story behind Shedeur's bold decision? Let's dive into the details.
If your name and your number get called, you pick up. You pick up. You do not know how your career is going to turn out. Dak Prescott had Tony Romo ahead of him when he was drafted in the 4th round. Dak Prescott started since day one. Kirk Cousins is still in the league. When your name is called and your number is called in this life.
Since Adam Schefter broke this news, many analysts are labeling Shedeur Sanders' decision as a mistake, and Acho is among the loudest critics. He firmly believes that Shedeur missed a golden opportunity by not joining the Ravens. According to Acho, when such a chance comes knocking, you have to take it, as life can be unpredictable. He pointed out that moments like this don't come around often, and failing to seize them could leave you with regrets. Acho argued that sometimes, even when the path ahead isn't clear, you need to take the risk. If you hesitate, you might look back and wish you had acted differently. Emmanuel Acho continued to argue that Shedeur Sanders made a major error by not choosing a team like the Ravens. He drew a parallel to Tom Brady, who was selected in the 6th round by the Patriots. Despite not being a top draft pick, Brady took the opportunity to join New England and ultimately became the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Acho emphasized that sometimes the best decision isn't about immediate playing time, but about being in the right environment to grow. He believes that Shedeur could have had a similar chance to learn and evolve with a team like the Ravens, setting himself up for long-term success.
Shedeur Sanders said he looks up to what quarterback?
The GOAT.
Tom Brady, right?
The GOAT.
When Tom Brady was drafted, was it in the 1st round?
No.
Was it in the 2nd round?
No.
Was it in the 3rd round?
No.
Was it in the 4th round?
No.
Was it in the 5th round?
No.
It was in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Now, when he was drafted, the first $100 million quarterback ever was on the Patriots. Drew Bledsoe. And Tom Brady turned into the GOAT.
Jason Whitlock took a bold stance, calling Shedeur Sanders brain dead for turning down the opportunity with the Ravens. He argued that Sanders was being too driven by ego, letting go of a rare and valuable chance. Whitlock suggested that Shedeur's decision revealed a lack of understanding about the long-term advantages of joining a team like Baltimore, which could have been instrumental in his development as a top-tier quarterback. In Whitlock's view, Shedeur allowed his pride to get in the way of the growth and learning he could have experienced with a successful and established organization like the Ravens.
And Shedeur told them, nah, I don't want to sit behind Lamar Jackson. I want to be in a place where there's more of an opportunity to play. This kid's brain dead. This kid has been badly mentored by his father. This kid's ego is out of control. This kid.
Amid the ongoing debate about Shedeur Sanders' choice to turn down the Ravens, Stephen A. Smith stepped up to defend him. While some argue that joining Baltimore could have allowed Shedeur to learn from Lamar Jackson, Stephen A. made a strong case that Shedeur can't be faulted for his decision given his unique circumstances. He pointed out that as an elite quarterback with the potential to be a high draft pick, possibly even a first or second rounder, Shedeur was in a difficult position. The chance to play immediately was minimal, with Lamar Jackson securely leading the Ravens. And when you consider Lamar's physicality and durability, it's clear that he's not someone likely to get injured anytime soon, making the opportunity to step in even slimmer.
Cam Newton can be absolutely right that Baltimore is the better situation. Yet none of us can look at Shedeur Sanders and find extreme fault with his position.
Stephen A. Smith highlighted that Shedeur Sanders was undoubtedly one of the top quarterbacks coming out of college, with an impressive 72% pass completion rate among other exceptional stats. Given these numbers, it's easy to see why Shedeur would want to play sooner rather than later. There were multiple NFL teams where he could have easily stepped in and contributed, which likely played a role in his decision to seek an opportunity where he could start immediately.
Sanders. And you're looking at it from that standpoint. You're coming out of Colorado. You just completed 70% of your passes. Once upon a time, you were projected to be a top 2 to 3 quarterback taken in the upcoming draft before things nosedived. Your mentality is that you have a chance at playing sooner than later on various teams in the National Football League.
Stephen A. made it clear that Shedeur Sanders had plenty of teams where he could have started right away. Teams like Cleveland, Buffalo, and even Cincinnati were all realistic options for him. Especially considering Joe Burrow's recurring injury concerns, Shedeur could have easily found a role with the Bengals. Stephen A. argued that criticizing Shedeur's decision as a mistake doesn't make sense. Given his impressive stats, including that 72% pass completion rate, and the opportunities available to him, Shedeur made a smart, strategic choice. Instead of waiting for an unlikely injury to Lamar Jackson, he opted for a path that better suited his long-term goals and aspirations. On the other hand, Cam Newton strongly disagreed with Stephen A. Smith, arguing that Shedeur Sanders passed up a priceless opportunity by not joining the Ravens. Cam pointed out that being in Lamar Jackson's presence would have offered Shedeur the chance to learn not just about on-field performance, but also how to handle the pressures and challenges that come with stardom. He emphasized that being surrounded by greatness and absorbing those lessons off the field could have been just as valuable as the opportunity to play. Cam believes that understanding how to manage life as a top star is essential for long-term success in the NFL.
And there are some things that if you could go back and change, obviously hindsight's 2020. But when you're looking at the better situation is definitely Baltimore, where you could potentially learn from a great and see how he manages so many different things outside of football rather than just performing at an elite level.
Cam Newton directly challenged Stephen A. Smith's claim that Shedeur Sanders could start for the Browns. He pointed out that, with Shedeur currently sitting third on their depth chart, it would be nearly impossible for him to start unless he surpassed both Dillon Gabriel and Joe Flacco. Cam argued that this made the Browns an unlikely fit for Shedeur. He went on to stress that Shedeur would have been better off with the Ravens even if a starting role wasn't immediately available. In Baltimore, he would have had the opportunity to learn from elite players, which would have been incredibly valuable for his development.
You got to go through two individuals to insert yourself as, the starter. Dillon Gabriel, who's now the second quarterback at hand, and then obviously Joe Flacco. And when you consider those things, it's
In conclusion, the future of Shedeur Sanders remains uncertain, but his decision to pass on the Ravens has undoubtedly left the NFL world in shock. This revelation has sparked intense debate, as many, including analysts and fans, were eager to see him thrive in a team like Baltimore, alongside a star like Lamar Jackson. The chance to learn from one of the league's best in an established organization would have been a dream scenario for any young quarterback. While some, like Stephen A. Smith, defend his choice based on the need for immediate playing time and growth, others, like Cam Newton and Emmanuel Acho, argue that he missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to develop both on and off the field. Whether Shedeur's decision will pay off in the long run is something only time will tell. His path may lead to success with Cleveland or another team, but one thing is clear. Many fans and analysts had envisioned him wearing a Ravens jersey, hoping to see him reach his full potential with one of the NFL's most respected franchises. As of now, it's a missed chance that will continue to spark discussion in the years to come. So, what do you think? Did Shedeur Sanders make the right decision by passing on the Ravens, or was this a missed opportunity that could have shaped his future in the NFL? Do you believe his choice will lead to growth and success elsewhere, or will he regret not learning from someone like Lamar Jackson? Is immediate playing time more important than being in a winning environment with proven veterans, or should he have taken a step back for the sake of development? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinions in the comments below, and let's dive into this debate.